game plan in its most basic essence, cutting it down to the smallest component of what the hell is about to go down is pre-workout, drive to gym, curl some shit. Actually, no, that's not right. Push down some shit, then curl some shit, then maybe forearm curl some shit, and then leave. Right? That's pretty much fucking it. So, what's your arm workout consist of? Is it like 3 sets of straight bar, 3 sets of rope, 3 sets of machine dips, like whatever the hell else? It can be whatever. So, what I'm really trying to say there is, as long as you're doing movements that are hitting, your tris, your bis, whatever, and you're doing a reasonable amount of, let's just say, diverse movements, like the feeling I get doing light single arm pushdowns, just holding that little nub on the handle instead of like an actual D handle, that feels insanely different than the feeling I get from a really heavy straight bar pushdown, or from a machine dip, or from like an overhead dumbbell, whatever. So do a couple of different movements, make sure you hit it from all angles, but just fucking go hard. Bread and butter. I was talking to some dudes at the Metro last night. I forget their names. They were kind of cool though, but they were telling me about their science-based lifter buddy. And my only gripe, the one thing that kind of gets me when it comes to maybe starting a little beef, maybe being a little bit of a, I guess I don't want to name drop anybody like that. I'm not actually upset or anything, but for the beginner, I don't think it's awesome to tell them, do a set and leave like 5 reps in the tank. What? That just does not sound right to me. Look, you don't need any kind of, what's the word I'm trying to think of? Like, you need absolutely zero kinesiology, exercise science, any of that fucking knowledge to be able to, start making progress in the gym. Right? Get your protein in, gram per pound of body weight. Eat as much food as you're hungry for. As a beginner, that's all I'm saying. You don't have to jump straight into a gnarly bulk or anything crazy like that, right? So maybe have your mom get some extra turkey or ground beef or whatever. Get some protein shakes in. And then go into the gym and just fucking push it, man. You don't need to know anything about meso reps or myo fucking Scooby-Doo reps, whatever. Get on the bench, get a spotter, or do a machine press, right? Get warm, and then pick a weight, which for, maybe 12 reps is pretty hard, and then try to go to fucking absolute failure, right? I don't think there's anything else to it. And to sort of, what I was trying to say was they were talking about their one buddy, and they were saying they've been lifting for the same amount of time, but he hasn't been doing that good because, he's been doing like, I don't know how they said it. Pretty much the basic gist was they said he was not training hard enough. And I mean, I really think that's the one factor that's going to change whether or not you're going to make progress or just stay the fucking same. I could come in and for the next 6 months, whatever, let's just say however long the bulk is, and I could do 10 sets per body part. Or I could do 5 sets per body part, or fucking maybe even 2 sets per body part. Whatever. As long as, those sets were actually fucking hard, I think I'd still get something out of it. I'm not saying any rep range or set range is as good as the other. I'm really just trying to say I could do very different training styles. Like I could do all real heavy sets or all light squeezing sets. As long as they're actually hard and you're doing some shit, then you're gonna make progress. So next time you see your buddy do a set of leg extensions where he had fucking 20 reps left, call him out, man. I see it all the time. I see sets that are taken to mild discomfort, or maybe even moderate discomfort. But I think you got to go even further than that. You know, honestly, training to the point where people might get a little worried about you during your sets, or you're really making a fucking face. I don't mind it. I fucking love it. I'll see a couple of comments, um, and the guy's like, "Oh, I'm so afraid to make noise in the gym." For one thing, you shouldn't care. It doesn't fucking matter. But to an extent, you are kind of right. You can't just start going crazy, screaming, making a ruckus. But if you're doing a legitimate set, then nobody's gonna think twice if they hear you, every 2 reps going, just like sound like somebody's cutting your toes off. Because sure, they might hear that and think, "What the fuck is that?" They turn around, and then when they see you doing probably the cumulative intensity of their whole workout in one set, they're not gonna fucking bother you. So, oh man, I think when it comes to stuff like that, about worrying what other people are thinking about you while you're working out or whatever else, I think you just got to develop a little bit more of a don't care attitude in a way. But I guess that, I don't know, that's up to you. It's not going to bother me to scream my head off on a set of squats or to, make some crazy grunts doing push downs. But whatever. So we're getting into a real ramble now. Push downs, curls, maybe forearm curls at the end. Check the pump. Say, "Oh my goodness, this is sick." Get in the car and roll. So, sounds like a perfect plan. All I got to do now is execute it. Again, an unsurprising start. I've been liking not necessarily pushing the weight as hard as I can for set number 1 for tries. So instead, moderate weight, single arm, cross body, squeeze the F out of it. You get the deal. Okay. One more, maybe 2 more. We'll see. Okay. Okay. What do I think? One more or move on? One more. Okay. Let's make that a drop set. Oh my God. Okay. Let's pick something else. Maybe straight bar. Straight bar pushdowns might be nice. All right, so plate, 25, stack, moderate weight, enough that I can really control, squeeze hard. And once I do 10 reps or so, hold it at the bottom for a moment, come back. Once I can't really get to the bottom, I'll still bust out some partials because I know for a fact I'm going to be more pumped doing those partials at the end of these sets rather than just stopping once I can't do a complete rep. Oh my God. One more to lose the 25. Slight change. Instead of straight bar, I want to do this kind of extra long D handle. So basic premise is the same shit. I mean, my hands are like this, and I'm still going top to bottom. But the fact that these two handles move side to side, I just get kind of a cooler squeeze at the bottom. But with this handle, kind of the same thing as the rope, I'm weaker. So no more 25, no more plate. The stack with this handle is enough. So let's just throw this shit around in a controlled squeezing manner. Oh, she got my music. Say a second. Okay. One more of these. Maybe two. We'll see. I've been liking these pause rep sets. Okay. One more, at least. Okay. I think I want one more of something, and then we can move on to buys. All right, plan for the ender for tries. First portion of the set, rope, failure-ish, pretty much until I can't do any good reps. Then swap handles to the straight bar, go a little heavier, and burn out there. Nothing insanely complicated, but I can guarantee this is gonna add an extra couple inches on the tricep. Okay. Maybe not, but I want to think that. Okay. Okay. All right. Small sneak peek of tries. Love it. Let's start curling. Okay, so after, 6-ish reps with the 30s, and then a few with the 50s, and a few with the 60s, and then 2 with the 70s, I'm ready to throw the 70s around. So this will be a little more of a kind of brutish set, might swing it just a little bit, but the amount of tension I'm gonna have on my biceps is well worth it, at least in my fucking opinion. So when I'm curling this heavy with dumbbells, I always throw a pair of straps on, just because the action of doing a fucking curl, I mean, you gotta think, if the dumbbell is here, by the time you bring it all the way up here, you've rotated it halfway. So it's kind of putting like some torque on me. So I really got to work to keep it, slipping out of my hands. And I feel like I want to funnel all my energy into my biceps. Why would I want to waste any of my forearms? So that's the logic behind the straps on heavy dumbbell curls. But 10, 12, let's make it hard. Oh my god, fuck. Okay, holy shit. Oh. Oh. Whew. I think I might just call it right there for dumbbell curls. Fuck. That was sweet. Yeah, shit, man. Let's do something else. All right, so the logic with just doing one set and then moving on is, I don't know, maybe I have like a subjective feeling that I want to reach after doing certain movements. And after that one set of dumbbell curls, honestly, I felt like if I tried to do another one, not that I couldn't match the intensity, but I would have had to drop down to like the 60s, the 55s to do that same amount of what am I thinking? Reps? Whatever. I don't know if I can really quantify it into words. I just felt like moving on. So machine curl, heavy, good squeeze, good stretch, all sorts of good buzzwords. Main idea, go bananas. Okay. No. One more. Oh yeah. Okay. That was a good one. Woo. All right. Plan now. So what was that? 1, 2, 3 sets. I think I want to do some bicep biased underhanded pull downs.
Yeah, I think that would be perfect next. Let's find a cable, set that shit up. All right, so I've got the straight bar pull down set up over there. Just to kind of go over the execution, it's definitely tricky to just get your biceps. Like you gotta almost completely relax your lats, completely relax your forearms, except for just enough tension to hold onto the bar. And then don't think about pulling it down like this with your back. Don't think about pulling almost, well, I mean, I know this sounds fucking super basic and stupid, but you have to think about like kind of curling it downward. If you start off light, you can kind of get the hang of it, but I need to pre-exhaust. So I think a set with the 40s, maybe I don't even have to go to complete failure here. I just want to do some damage and some fatigue before I get over there to the cable and then really finish it off. Okay. Okay. Fuck. Yeah, this is definitely a fucking... I don't even know how to fucking describe it. It's just a good amount of... Well, you just gotta try it yourself. Burns like a mofo. Let's repeat that at least once, maybe twice. And then I think we're done. We'll check the pump. Okay. Yeah. Okay. One more. Okay, come on. Okay. Close grip pull downs. You just gotta fucking try it to understand what I'm talking about. But let's find some freaky lighting, hit a couple flexes and roll, and get out of here. This cold air, this cold, dry air is getting to me. I am so fucking chapped. Not that it'll affect the pump, but it's kind of a fucking hassle. So let's see how we're looking. You know, if you have problems sleeping, don't look into melatonin. Don't look up, military how to fall asleep in 10 seconds. Just eat a caniac with 2 extra pieces of bread and 3 extra tenders, plus a Sprite. That will knock your ass out. Oh my God. Ooh. Let's see how we're looking. I feel pretty fucking full of carbs and water and sweet treats and everything else. Let's see if it translates to the pump itself. Just get the exposure down a little freakier. And one more. There we go. I'm a fan. Yeah, damn straight I'm a fan of that. Oh my goodness. There we go. Yeah, fuck yeah. Increasing the food intake just in terms of the arm pump, I can already fucking tell. Oh man. Oh. Woo. Who doesn't? Come on. Who doesn't love having two big chunks of fucking beef hanging off their shoulders? Love it. So plan now. No forearms. I'm just gonna call it arms. Get in the car. Go home, eat, chill. Oh. I just remembered some heat transfer homework. Let's forget about that part. Oh my goodness. All right. Negative fucking complaints after that one. I fucking love having a good arm day. Arms is just fucking fun, man. I mean, still strenuous. Of course, all of your lifts should be, right? Put your pedal to the metal, go hard, make your sets fucking freaky. But it's not like legs where I'm, dying, sweating. Well, let's just say dying. I'm still getting a little sweaty. And I need to go, and, really catch my breath in between sets. So it's, I can understand why people like it so much. But I can also understand why it gets, I'd say, probably second place to chest. I'd say chest still gets the number one spot in terms of people's subjective favorite body part to hit. Just because it's kind of fun and it's not so repetitive. That's one thing which I'm glad I've never sort of had to deal with, is it doesn't bother me to do fucking 5 sets in a row of the exact same thing. It wouldn't bother me to be in a gym if all it had was a heavy ass, cable stack with a straight bar. I'd just get a badass tricep lift of straight bar pushdowns. And if all they had was fucking dumbbells, then shit, man. Alternating dumbbell curls, maybe do some preachers just to add a little bit of diversity to the lift. But other than that, man, that's all arms is. You're going from here to here with load, and you're going from here to here with load, and then just repeating that as many times as necessary for a badass pump, a good amount of fatigue. I guess that's pretty much it. I don't have a specific number in mind when it comes to my sets. I was trying to drop it down kind of low to the 4 or 5 range for a little while, but maybe it's just habit, but I think I still like 8, 9, something around there. 7 is just that sort of range. That's where I like it. If your thing is you love 12 sets, I'm not going to tell you you're wrong, but for me, by the time I finish 8 or 9-ish, something like that, sometimes even 10. I mean, the last back day was like 10 sets. Just, once I feel like I've done enough, I'm nice and pumped, I've got a good amount of fatigue, then I'm like, all right, we're done. Now, that's after like 5 years of lifting. And in the beginning, I was doing like 25 sets per body part. So I've kind of gone through a lot of different, let's just say iterations of training styles and rep schemes and everything else. So do I think that maybe earlier on I kind of wasted some time in that way? Potentially. Maybe I would have gotten more out of, or actually no, I could probably say this with a pretty high degree of certainty. I think I would have got better off, or I would have been better off in my earlier days doing lifts that were more like maybe 10 hard sets
rather than 25 with a bit extra fluff work. And that's, per muscle. So a bicep workout would consist totally of 25 fucking sets of curls. I was on some crazier shit back then. I don't know what I was thinking. Or actually, I do. I was doing in my mind. This is how I wanted to train: 5 movements per muscle group, 5 sets per movement. So arms, 5 sets of straight bar push down, 5 sets of the rope, 5 sets of dips, 5 sets of skull crushers, 5 sets of something. That was just my approach, but still got good results. And that's just, I'd kind of attribute that to the fact that no matter what the hell you do, as long as you go hard, you're gonna fucking change the way you look for sure. You could just fucking sit at home and do a calisthenics body weight kind of CrossFit-y looking workout. Oh, we've all seen the videos. Somebody plays like some hip hop and they're kind of doing like real intense push-ups / burpees, and they're kind of bouncing around doing some shit like that. And guess what? Sure, it's not my cup of tea. It's not my style. I wouldn't be caught doing that. But they're fucking jacked. They got some freaky triceps. Just being active in any way, and then combining that with high intensity, you're going to look the part if you do it for long enough. You most certainly will look the part if you do it long enough. And that's something that kind of, well, I guess I'm sort of going off on a totally different tangent, maybe a little bit related. But I think, for one thing, you're better off keeping your foot on the gas, aka, if you're in, let's scroll the fucking wheel of time back. Let's say you're in high school, you're a fit 180. Maybe you were a receiver. I'm sure some of you listening that fit your high school demographic. This is kind of intended for the older dudes, right? If you kept going to the gym consistently from then on, you're just going to kind of stay a fit, lean dude. But you got your life to deal with, years upon years of actual, real fucking man responsibilities, or woman. 4% female viewership. I'm not going to forget about you, right? So you can kind of go on a bit of a gym hiatus, and it's not so easy to get the wheel rolling again. And this isn't I'm not really talking from experience. This is just kind of from hearing from other people. This is secondhand knowledge. But it doesn't mean that there's still not oil in your fucking engine. It just might take a little bit for you to get back into the zone. So sure, if you haven't been to the gym for a couple of months, your first month might not be fucking awesome. You might not be a total baller. But keep going, keep going. Shit starts to ease up, get a little bit stronger, get back into the zone. Potentially start tracking your macros. Maybe chill out on whatever treats you've been eating. Because I'm not trying to generalize, but if you've been out of the gym for a while, more than likely the issue is not going to be the lack of body mass, or what's the word I'm trying to think of? Muscle mass. More than likely it's going to be a little bit excess body fat, just from being, a little bit less active. So, get back into MyFitnessPal if that's your deal. I'm more of a stupid, simple macro tracker fan myself, but I don't really know exactly where I was headed with this one. But if you know somebody that's been out of the gym for a while, fuck it, man, get them back in there. I know your family has a goddamn YMCA family membership. Right? Bring your pops in. He used to bench 315 back in his day. Why don't you get him back there? Maybe not back to 315, but you get what I'm saying. I think all I'm really trying to get into is you will be better off having a little bit of a, Michelle Obama style 1 hour of play per day, right? Don't forget, you're still, operating this big ass piece of biological machinery, aka your body, your fucking physique, and not just being a little bit stronger and more active, but you're just gonna feel better, man. And I mean, I don't know, maybe you're a Gary V type dude, you can't waste that much time, you're on your grind, you're stacking bread. I guess if that's you, whatever, man, chase your dreams. But for the most part, the hassle with having to go into the gym, get kind of sweaty, be a little bit uncomfortable, the hassle is definitely worth the reward, right? And I'm not talking to anybody who's got total freak level, insane ambition, whatever, bodybuilding, get into it really crazy. Just talking to everybody, man. Even if I wasn't a total gym nut, I would hope that I would still be going to the gym just to stay a relatively fit dude. Of course, I'm going fucking far and beyond that just because I'm an obsessed nut. But it doesn't. Don't let that take away from the main idea I was just trying to say, right? Even if I totally quit all this muscle building, whatever, maybe I had a moment of awakening and I'm like, I don't need all this muscle mass. Obviously, that's never going to happen. But let's say it did. I'm still going to do my cardio. I can fucking guarantee you that. So, again, totally random ass tangent. Either way, back to matters at hand. Feel nice and carved up, nice and hydrated. Certainly ready for a good night's rest tonight. Recover these fucking upper body extremities. Hopefully add a little bit of mass. I mean, that's the goal every time you go to sleep, is to use the stimulus of your training that day or the days prior, get nice and comfy, and then, let your body do its thing. Just pack on a teeny amount of muscle at a time. And, you do that for a couple hundred, maybe get into the thousands of days, and it is gonna fucking reflect in your build. Guaranteed. So that's all I gotta say there. Home, food, potentially a second trip to Cane's. In a bulking context, I have no problem with that at all. And then, fuck, man, sleep. Sleep. So, keep up with what you're doing. Have some good lifts. Maybe don't do a 1 rep max if it's not totally necessary. Do your cardio. Take your fish oil, your multivitamins, your creatine. Don't stay up too late gaming. Hey, come on. We all know this sort of shit. So I will see you next time for hamstrings.